This is a channel for everybody. So today we're going to be talking about string. We're going to be talking about type spec, and last but not the least, we'll be talking about module attributes. So let's start with string, and please stay to the end because this video has a lot to give. And for all our upcoming videos, we do upload on our YouTube channel Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by 11:30. So please hit that notification bell, subscribe and like, follow, share the love to everybody. Thank you. So today we're going to be starting with string. So Elixir string are nothing but a sequence of bits. But I would quote these people wrong over here because we're going to find out that strings are of two types. So Elixir string is not just only when it is a binary, it can also be a chalice. So we're going to be talking about what's now the difference between when a string is a chalice and when a string is a binary. But let's go back over there and first of all start with when a string is a binary. So strings are binaries because when a string is a binary is a sequence of bits and it's holding various bits. So 104 stands for the H in the hello, 101 stands for the E in the hello, 108 stands for the L, 111 stands for the 0. So these are all bits that makes up this string of hello, and by concatenating the string with the 0, this thing you can see the number of bits we have in the string. So before we go back to Charlie's, let's go back to Elixir documentation to get more grounded in what is a string. So in this chapter, begin. So this is what we're talking about. So we have gone further to talk about string being a binary, and we say although we cover a bit string is a continuous sequence of bits in a memory. So let's keep that in mind, that a bit string is a continuous sequence of bits in memory, and a bit string is a fundamental data type in Elixir and is donated with this. So when we wanted to check our string, we did something like this and we put a 0 to see the type of binary. So from here we can see that a binary is a bit string where the number of its bit is divisible by 8. So a binary is being divided by 8, and that's why in a bit string, in a binary you can get 2, 3, 4, 5, but you cannot get any value other than 8 because it is being divisible by 8. So in school then we talked about binary, we have bits being divided by 2, which gives you 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. We have hexa, which is being divisible by 16, and we now have, after 16 we have FA to all these things. We have decimal, which is being divisible by 10. So don't worry, we all went through like the mathematical aspect of binary and bits, and that's what we're doing over here. So please stay tuned to us and let's go more into examples. And there are various functions that you can use to manipulate or work with your string. There are various functions you can use. So with functions, we have length. You can change the length of your string, use string.length. You can replace some variables. So if you want to replace it takes 3 arity. So we talked about arity when we talk about function. And arity just simply means argument. It means what did you just say, what do I pass? What do I pass in this function? That's just arity. What do I pass? What do I put in this function? How many data is this function expecting? And which kind of data is this function expecting? That's just the basic form of what arity is. So we have hello, which is our string. Then we have E. This E over here, we want to change it to A. So we have hello instead of hello. Then string the duplicate, you want to duplicate split. So sort string. This is another example. So let's go into building our own example. So over here we have some examples. So we're not going to talk about this yet. We're just going to talk about string. So we're going to say, so we say strings are binary when they are. So the difference between when a string is a binary and when a string is a chart is, the number one difference is that a string that is a binary is double quoted. Yeah, just has a double quotation. So if I go for that to say hello to prove this theory, I'm going to get a, okay, so this was, so if I put this last here as my last code and I evaluate it, I get true because this is a binary. A binary is being double quoted. So let's go to chalice. We didn't talk about it. It's like we dropped the gun on it. So let's go back to it. We said strings are of two types. They're either a binary or an array. So they say Elixir string are represented with a sequence of bytes rather than an array of character. So Elixir also has a chalice, which is also a string type character list. Elixir string are enclosed with double quotes, while char are enclosed with single quotes. So when the string is a chalice, is enclosed with just one quote, but if it's a binary, it's enclosed with two quotes. So when you see a string with one quote, it is a chalice. So from this our example here, I'm going to come down to this and put it over here, and you see what I'm saying. So this is encoded with just one quote, so I get false. So this is how you write a chalice, and most time chalice are used in the Erlang modules. So in order to work with some Erlang modules, you might be dealing with chalice, but a lot of major times in Elixir you'll be dealing with binary string. So let's just put it like that. Let's call the other one chalice string and call the other one binary string so that we don't get confused. Most times in Elixir you are dealing with binary string, but whenever you have gone into the Erlang module, Erlang library, you'll be mostly dealing with chalice. So we have talked of the various functions in chalice. We have talked about the difference between chalice and binary. So you see it is a unique code point of a character, whereas in a binary the code points are UTF-8. So that's the difference. So that's all for string and binary. So we're going to be moving into module attributes. So what are module attributes? When we talk about module attributes, what are module attributes? Module attributes in essence are just constant data. So most of us coming from JavaScript, they are coming from JavaScript foundation, coming from PHP, we have heard of a value called constant that does not change. So let me just say, for instance, you have a house in your village. Yeah, you have 3-bedroom flats in the village. Come what may, come there, go there 5 years, go there 10 years. That house is still going to be a 3-bedroom flat. Except it get demolished, and when it get demolished, it becomes nothing. But as long as a house is there, you're still going to have a 3-bedroom flat because that's what you built. It doesn't change. So that's the same thing with constant. So constant values are values or data type that does not change. So whatever you have passed into the attribute, it becomes what the attribute has taken. So they always say whatever you take in is what you bring out. So that's the same thing with constant. You have given me, my name is Ijoma, so my name is always going to be constant. Ijoma, like come what may, my name is Ijoma, except I decided to do it, change my name. But even when I change my name is still Ijoma because that's what I was being named by my parents from birth. So let's move further. So we say module attributes, they run time. They are being run once you compile your module, they are being run at that particular time. So whenever you compile, if I compile this module now and I run this module attribute, you see it is going to always run. So this is at pi, this is a module attribute. They always have an at. This is another module attribute. When we talk about type spec, you see another module attribute. They are useful tools in your programming language that help you. So module doc is one. It helps you to write documentation of your module. so that if you or another new developer is going through that code 10 years, 15 years from now, you guys can understand what you did. Because I've seen so many times that you write a comment in a code, and the comment you don't even know why you wrote that comment. You're like, what did I comment? Why did I comment this? But in a module, the trick thing about a module doc is you will see it, you get, and especially when you write a very clean and visible documentation, you'll be able to say, oh, so this is what this function is doing. So let me put an example. You're building a social media application, something in you're cloning Facebook. So you want to do a module for the chat section of the application. So just imagine how many millions of code or how many thousands of code you have in that particular module. But when you put a module attribute and say this module contains functionalities or contain various functionalities for the creation, implementation, updating of chat in this system. Somebody coming there, it is clean and clear. Somebody coming there 15 times, 100 times, they get to understand, okay, this is what this module attribute is doing. This is what this module is doing based on your module documentation. So an at doc is so sweet to have a doc in one side and a module doc in the other side. So like they are to connect to each other. So a doc is a documentation of a function. So when you are writing your function, always remember to document it so that each of the function will have a particular documentation, and somebody coming in will be able to understand what that function is being played. And you can even write the number of attributes that function is taking, and you can use type spec. Oh, you already hit type spec. Yeah, okay, let's dive into it. So you can use type spec to let the person know the type of data it's receiving and the type of data it's returning. That's just type spec, often called type specification, sorry, are also called type spec. They are another important feature based on attributes that allows you to provide the type info for your function, which can later be analyzed with a static analysis tool such as the litizer and the rest. So a spec attribute indicates with a function what to accept and which value to return. So in essence, when you use type spec, you use module attributes. All these are good coding practice that help you to write a very visible and accurate code. So you're not just so because when you're coding, you shouldn't just code, you should implement. So these are implementing tools. They are planning tools that help you make your code in a very proper and light way. You want to write that sweet code that when you come there 50 times, like, damn, I wrote this. Thumbs up, man. Thumbs up, like that kind of. That's what all these tools help you to achieve. So let's go to the documentation and get to see more. So comes with a notation for declaring types and specification. Elixir is a dynamic typed language. So what we mean by Elixir is a dynamic typed language is essence is telling you that Elixir actually does not need you to write in the type. If you're using TypeScript now, if you say name and you just say a string of Ijoma and you do not put a type, oh my god, your code will not run. It's going to throw you so many errors and type is required. But in Elixir, it doesn't. It's a dynamic type language. It detects your type based on the data you provide. So let me say, for instance, now I am building a map of name and I put it knows it's a map because of the data structure I am passing, because the data structure, the type of data, the way it said, so you say, oh, this is how we map it. It is that dynamic to detect the data type you are passing without you having to all the programming language what data type was being used. So they provide documentation. They are used by the analyzer, which can analyze code with type spec to find consistency and possible bugs. So we have various different type of type spec, and this is an example. So we use a lot of modules. Elixir uses a lot of modules being implemented by Erlang. So don't be scared when you're importing an Erlang module and you're like, is it going to work? It's going to work. It's like father to son. It will work. A son will inherit the features of its father, right? And some of its mother too. So that's what Elixir did. Elixir implements its features of his father. Then he didn't just go for that. That shows you the beauty of the language. Okay, he took from the father, worked on the father's deficiency or disadvantage or cons of the father, and made it his own prose. A clap for Elixir. It's a dynamic language. So over here, this is an example of a type spec word. So a long word, a boolean. So this is a type spec. No, let me just say, I'm gonna just do a. This is a boolean. So when I pass this, I'm going to get a function error and everything, because even then it's not what it's expecting. So even if I put, but I'm passing data, right? I'm passing data, I'm passing values, but I'm not passing the right data it's expecting. So it tells the system, say, I'm expecting a word which is a string, and I'm expecting the return value to have a boolean. So that comes to the ending of today's tutorial, today's video on basics. So the next time we meet, we're going to be talking about the other data type we have not treated, such as float, map, and atom. So we're going to be treating them little by little, and we keep expanding. And this YouTube channel, to be sincere, has led to a significant growth in my career. And I'm grateful for all of you support, your word of encouragement, your subscription, your like, and everything. Thank you so much, and keep showing the love. It's your girl, as always. Bye.